Okay, so we're going to retry a test we did roughly a year ago where we took a fairly large plane, in this case an A320, and we flew it from London Heathrow to Luton Airport, which is really, really close. It's about 30 miles. Now, last year, we used the AI Copilot, which is what we'll be doing again in this test, and he decided that rather than land on a runway in Luton, he would land in the actual terminal. So we're going to run that exact same test again. We've had many updates. I just had an 8GB update today, and we're going to see whether any of those have helped the Copilot. And then if not, we're going to look to see if there's anything I could be doing differently when setting up these routes, because maybe what I just did there was completely wrong. Now, I'm going to give him a little bit of help, which I might not have done last time. I'm going to set the altimeter for him, because he's not very good at that. So we've set that, and now we'll just check this box and minimize, and let's just watch him go. So we are using live weather, although I haven't got the live traffic on because I don't want the Copilot getting confused with millions of other aircraft. So we will hopefully have a simple route for him. He has taken off. We will head north from here, pick up the GPS track, and then I wonder whether or not we will find a decent approach. Now that was the problem last time. We didn't find an approach, we just landed at the airport. So it could be something with how I'm setting up a route, which is what we're going to test. Okay, so that's all looking good so far. We are now on that north track. We're 8,000 feet seems quite high though for a 20-mile cruise. I would have probably kept it a little bit lower, but this is the Copilot. It's all up to him. I've got nothing to do here. But yeah, 8,000 seems quite high. We're on track. We've hit that GPS point. You can see on the top left, airplane is just about on that pink line now. So I assume we'll just follow this pink line until we find an approach path, which hopefully ATC will tell us on the right hand side. Altimeter has changed. It's now 30.09, and we haven't changed that on the plane. And there's ATC telling us what our approach will be. So you can see now there's a point 37 miles away, which is a lot further away than the 10 miles of Luton. So we'll see whether or not we follow that approach path. I'm sure we will now, actually. That might be why we're hit 8,000 feet. Although we've not hit 8,000 feet, we're nearly at 8,300. So he's not even following his own rules. Now I'm starting to think that maybe I should have changed the weather rather than using live weather. This is not a particularly interesting view, is it? Just flying through clouds for what will end up being about 100 miles. So Luton is now below us to the left. So we are definitely flying over, which is great. We're not going to try to land in it. We're going to hit that approach point in front. Oh, we're turning. So we're definitely too high. I thought we were going to go hit that point that is 25 miles in front, but apparently not. Oh, we're heading back right. Maybe we are heading towards that point. We were just getting back on track. That's a very wobbly. I wouldn't want to be a passenger. We are seesawing left and right like crazy. This is not great. I mean, we are flying at least. We are going in a straight line. No, not straight line. We are not crashing, which I think is the absolute bare minimum you would accept if you were on a flight. But what is this left and right seesawing and also ignoring ATC? It's not great. So we're now banking to make our approach to Luton, I would imagine. We'd probably want to look at slowing down at some point as well. So Luton is down here, EGGW. We are a little bit north, but we are at least making an approach. We'd probably be going from east to west by the looks of it, but I'd expect us to straighten up sometime around now. Okay, so we are now just heading back to... No, we're banking even further to the right. Are we going to go past Luton and then come back at it? Or are we going to aim at it now? Oh, no, we're flattening off. So we're leveling off and we're in between two markers. Oh, no, we're banking. I don't know what's going on here. This is a very hectic flight. So we've made an interesting course to the north of Luton. You can see it just appearing now on the VFR map on the top left. But we're currently, if I remember right, we're currently heading perpendicular to the runways, which obviously we don't want. We can't land literally sideways. I mean, we could try landing literally sideways. I don't think it will end up very well. Where are we heading now? We've done like a figure of 8. Are we gonna aim at Luton east to west? That would be good. So now we're heading right again. We are heading away from Luton, so we must be coming in for east to west on Luton. You can see the runway in Luton is almost exactly east to west. It's ever so slightly slanted north on the right hand side, but we are at least looking like we might be approaching to land rather than to try to go direct to terminal. Okay, so we're still banking right, quite a hard bank. We're 3,000 feet, which is quite low, but not unsafe, I don't think. We're hopefully going to come out from a cloud soon so we can actually see something. Luton is pretty much at 2 o'clock now, so if we have a look over there, that's the Luton runway. We should be approaching it from roughly this direction. We need to go straight a little bit more so that we're parallel with the runway. There we go, that's our approach path. Gears coming down, but we are approaching pretty fast here. But we're approaching, which is good. We're not going to hit the terminal, which is much better than before. This seems to be going a lot more successfully than last time. We're doing okay, actually. This is really good. This is a lot more calm than the actual flight to get us to this point. That flight was scary. Let's say scary. I think that's probably a good phrase for it. We are still really low on that glide path, but that will get the runway. We can see the runway look in front of us, just coming out of the fog and the cloud. Here we are. We're still really low, but we are above those poles with the lights, but only just. It looks as though Copilot can now land a plane, big plane, flown a short distance.
20.
Yes, fairly heavy landing, but it's a landing nonetheless. So there we go. Microsoft have fixed Flight Sim, so we will do a little bit more testing actually. There's another thing I want to try in a second. I want to try to see whether or not just going direct causes issues, because you'll remember on this one I said it to be high altitude airlines. We'll test again in a bit and we'll see whether going direct causes issues. We'll run the airplane exactly as we did before. We'll go into chase view and then turn on the Copilot and off we go. So let's go chase. Oh, and we will set the altimeter, because that is also something we did last time, which we didn't do before. Altimeter, because of clear skies, is correct. So we'll take off. Hopefully we won't have a ziggy-zaggy route like the last test. This time we are going east to west, so it will be a slightly different route anyway. Obviously with clearer skies, it's probably going to be a nicer flight, and we'll just let Copilot do his thing now. This is exactly what he did last time, isn't it? We're not particularly high. We're less than 1,000 feet, and we're already banking quite hard. So that's quite a hefty bank to the right, given our height, and we're not climbing particularly quickly either. We're climbing at, well, you can see on the right there, 465 feet per minute, and we're only 1,600 feet. 20 miles to go. We look like we might be heading back onto that GPS track, which is great, because the last test we did the same. We just took off the other direction. So once we get over sort of the Hemel Hempstead sort of way, which is about halfway to Luton from Heathrow, then we'll be on the exact same course. We'll be on the same track, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Obviously, with the clear skies, there is a lot more to look at, isn't there? This game is gorgeous. Okay, that's a fairly significant bank considering where we are on the GPS. So either we're correcting course or we're flying like a snake again. We obviously want to go around to the side because we're aiming at Luton Airport perpendicular again. So it looks like we're going to head towards the east of Luton and then hopefully head back in. That's what we did before. So we went east of Luton, tracked north, came back, and then landed going east to west on that runway. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. Luton is... wow, quite far over now. It's on our left wing. I assume we're going to go sort of this direction towards Welling. We're almost in line with it. If we were to start turning left now, we would be in line with the runway, but it's quite a short approach. It's only 5 miles. Probably at the point now where we want to start turning left if we're going to if we're going to approach from this direction, it might almost be worth going right, sort of a 3/4 turn so that we're facing back the right way. I have no idea where he's heading just now though. We're still heading away from Luton. Here we go. We're changing direction now. We are heading left, also dropping slightly. That could just be because of the turn. Hopefully it's not, because we're going to land in a field somewhere. If we keep this course, we will be aiming perpendicular again, which is obviously not what we want. I think the issue at the moment for me is that there's no information to tell me what we're doing. So with the last flight, because I set it as high altitude, it actually told me which markers it was going to hit, where it was going to go, how high it was going to be. I mean, we're 1,600 feet, which is not very high, but at least we're heading back towards Luton now. But we're not heading towards the runway, or at least we're not in line with the runway from here. The runway goes almost left to right as we're looking at it, but the angle is oh no, we're still dropping. This isn't right. So maybe this is how you make Copilot crash. You don't say whether you're high or low altitude, you go to A to B. But then why would he go past? Why would he go past? Okay, we're leveling off a bit now. Oh no, we're not. We are so low. 1,000 feet, 3 miles to go. We are not in line with the runway. Gear's still up though. That's a good sign. That means hopefully he's not looking to land. Let's double check. Gears are up. Flaps are set to 0. So we're going to fly over. Okay, we're going to fly over. So you can see the angle of that runway. That is not how we want to be landing.
500.
So the only difference between this flight and the last is the weather, and that I set it to be a direct flight rather than... oh, no, why are you going down?
Papa India November 00 is 1 miles northeast.
No, pull up.
Feet with Sierra to land.
Oh my gosh. So as I was saying, the only difference between that flight and the last one is that I changed the weather to make it a little bit nicer so we could see, but also I changed it to be a direct flight. Is that what's causing these issues?